Recording in progress.
Welcome to the first Zoom interview podcast of the BrandonJaneauShow. I am with one of the up-and-coming comedians in the South, probably just on social media right now, just killing it. Miss TheKyndraCrump. Hey, and you got show in your last name too, so that's pretty cool on your Instagram. So that's already cool. So please introduce yourself to the people that probably know you out there. They probably know you more than they know me. So please tell people how amazing you are as a comedian, how you do on social media. Here you go.
All right, so my ADHD kicked in, so I'm going to be able to try to answer as much as I can with what you just asked me, okay? Just let you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to put the Kendra. Let me first off tell you guys about my name, okay? So Kendra Crump, born and raised in Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Right now it feels a little bit colder outside, but maybe because I'm staying my butt inside this time instead of being out there getting attacked by mosquitoes. One thing I realized is that it's only female mosquitoes that bite, right? And I can smell like musty testicles, and these things will still bite me. One time I actually had a mosquito bite me on my butt. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why, but it somehow got through. Okay, back to the story. So yes, I started actually doing the TheKyndraCrumpShow. Like I actually came out with that name first back in 2016. And it was via Snapchat at the time. And so what ended up happening is that I would say, hey, welcome back to the TheKyndraCrumpShow. And at the time it was like Lil Kim's hardcore album and whatnot. And actually I wrote some of those lyrics for her, and we're beefing right now because she doesn't want to admit the truth, but anyway, she needs to pay up. Back to the story. So I would be like, welcome to the TheKyndraCrumpShow, talk about sex. And then people kept saying to me, Kendra, this is funny, but do you have something else to talk about? Because like sex is always going to be funny, right? But if you can make people laugh with or without using profanity, with or without being vulgar, you already got you got a crew, you got a fan base popping, right? And that's what I try to do. I try to stay away from sex, even though I've had a few of my male followers be like, man, like you talk about sex a lot. And this is via IG. And I'm like, bro, I made only one post within the last 4 months about sex, bro. Come on now. Listen, just because you look like a squirrel with a trash bag wrapped around your head, don't take your frustration and anger out on me. Take that up with God, okay? Quit sipping on that haterade. Back to the story. So anyway, I ended up just transforming. When I got to Instagram, I would and my Snapchat name is still up there if anybody wants to go follow me, but you're just gonna be looking at a ghost page because ain't nothing up there. I don't post nothing up there. It's nothing going on, right? But it was Idolized Dynasty because I was gonna be a stripper. My nickname, I pretty much had my alter ego in high school was named Dynasty because Dynasty was Lil Kim and Mike Tyson. Okay, so yes, I'm pretty surprised nobody didn't shoot my club up. I was scared. I never snuck out the house. Like Brandon, did you ever sneak out the house with Joyride as a teenager?
Nah, I was scared of the consequences.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I wanted to be that person, but I was, it was processing levels of why it could never happen. But anyway, back to the story again. So Dynasty was going to be my actual stripper name, but then I realized I got 2 left feet. I was going to be the first stripper in history bringing home pocket change. You would have thought I was working for a nonprofit organization. Back to the story. So I ended up having my name was like Idolized Dynasty, here, there, everywhere. And I had a podcaster earlier this year. He told me, Kendra, I see that you're trying to, make a change happen. He says, you're going to have to change your name. Like on my actual, prior to him, let me rewind the track back. January to December 2019, I went on this guy's YouTube page and I wrote in his comments, he found me on Instagram. He told me that it's better if we change my name to try to get more of an audience around who I am, building up my brand and everything else. He says, because you got to have some type of name for yourself. You don't want to just be known as Idolized Dynasty. You got to have some type of name. I said, okay, cool. So with that being said, that's where the TheKyndraCrumpShow came in, because it just like I said, goes back to my regular Snapchat. Hey, welcome back to the TheKyndraCrumpShow. So yes, it is my show. And one day, when God makes it happen, I'm gonna have my own radio and television show called TheKyndraCrumpShow. And hey, got to start somewhere, and that's why I'm trying to get my name out. So if you guys have not heard about me, y'all been asleep, y'all been underneath the rock, you still out there chasing your baby daddy that don't want you. Okay, focus on something that actually is a little bit more important than your punk ass baby daddy. Oh, I'm supposed to be not using any profanity. All right, so I mean that ass is not a bad word. It's in the Bible, I think. Yeah, okay. All right, moving on forward. Next.
You damn sure answered a lot in like a little bit. Yeah, okay, that was that was good. That was good. So what comedians drove you to want to do something like this? Because I know some comedians. Like for me, I love comedy. I watch YouTube all day, and I'm probably watching a lot of comedians. I'm watching 85 South Show. I'm watching Ryan Davis. I'm watching Cat Williams. I'm watching Bernie Mac go stand ups. I'm watching Eddie Griffin. I'm watching Eddie Murphy. I'm watching Chris Rock. I'm watching Patrice O'Neal. Like I'm watching comedians. Like I'm watching like uncut, filtered. Let's just go get the mic. I'm about to go off. Like, what comedians got you like that? What comedians made you say, you know what, I can do that. I can do that. Because you got a gift for it. A lot of people don't. People that know they got a gift for like that, they kind of like stay away from it because it's just like, that's not really me. That's not me. But then like for somebody like you got a gift for it. You're good at it. So what made you want to do that? What comedian like you was like, yeah, I like that. I like that comedian at a young age or something.
Steve Harvey was it was in different strides before I really knew what a comedian was. Will Smith was the first one. But Steve Harvey was the first real one. Okay. And as I got
him in them big ass suits.
Yeah. There was something about Steve that really connected me to him that made me say he's amazing. I'll tell you who mine are now, because I've had people put me onto different comedians where I was like, this person's pretty good, right?
Okay.
My top 5 in no particular order. I'm going to exclude Pryor, Chappelle, and Kevin Hart, even though Kevin Hart is not funny. When you wear a dress, you already sold out. Shout out to Flip Wilson for starting that movement that needs to die. That's all I'm going to say about the LGBT LMNO community. Back to the story. So, number 1, Carlos Miller. 2 is Arnaz J. 3, Steve. 4, Cedric. 5, Chris Rock. I have not met or seen any of them. I do hope, and I'm proud, and I am manifesting that one day I'm going to end up seeing them, and one day we're going to hang out and we're going to just go and do what the elderly does. They like to, I feel like they sit on their porch and rock back and forth and they talk about their neighbors, because I feel like they live off the like grid somewhere where they don't have a lot of neighbors, but they talk about people, and then they start saying, get off my lawn, you rotten kid. They're practicing for to get off my lawn, you rotten kid.
Yeah, I like that list. That's a good list. Chris Rock, Carlos Miller, that dude special. I don't know what it is, but he every time I see him, he just his it's not like he's like doing stand up. He's just like just talking. I feel like you could just laugh at him just because he's talking at you. Like it's just, that's the type of comedians I like, when they just naturally funny. You're like, yeah, this dude got something different. Like you can't even talk to him because you're gonna start crying laughing. Like it's a problem.
Yeah, but you know what my thing, let me keep it 100 down with you, right? There's some people out there in life that I would like to meet, but I don't want to really meet them because I don't want to put my expectations that they're going to be this cool individual and everything else. Because some of them are, people are still human at the end of the day. And if I've heard too many bad reviews about a person, I don't even want to meet that person, stuff like that. Like, I'll give you a prime example. All right, let's talk basketball real quick, because I grew up a tomboy. I played basketball, football, baseball, anything ending in the word ball except men's balls. I'm trying to play with Rapper the Games and Jason Terrell Taylor. So it's the perfect opportunity. You see me, you are a listener of this podcast. Respond back to my DM, and I'm putting my finger in your face, sir, that I sent on April 19, 2020, 8:08 p.m. and April 19, 2021, 9:38 p.m. And also, I just sent another one to your other Instagram about 2 weeks ago to the game. I don't even know the date, but I'm putting my finger in my face to let you know what time it is, doggone it. But anyway, so let's talk 5, okay? I had to start studying that. You know, when it came with basketball, I looked at other ballers, like, and my list has changed drastically over time, and it just recently changed, like maybe a few weeks ago, right? And so I'll give you my original top five and my new top five now. My original top five was AI, KG, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, and Chauncey Billups. My new top five is Hakeem Olajuwon. I just got put on him. I'm like, this man's the truth. Hakeem Olajuwon, Earl the Pearl Monroe. Let me tell you how I got put on him. One of my favorite movies at the time, before I knew better, was He Got Game. Okay, then you know how you go back and start looking at like movies, and you're like, bro, this acting is bad. So listen, my new number one favorite movie was Coach Carter. I'm gonna tell you why it became my new number one favorite movie. Because I was on a flight, Delta. You know, shout out to Delta. Shout out to all the airplanes out there that actually have real televisions, and they actually have movies that you can watch, and it's up to date, so you don't even have to spend no money going to go see Bad Boys 7. You're like, come on, back to the story. So I ended up I was on this plane. I remember one time I went on a flight from like Atlanta to West Palm Beach back in May. And then all of a sudden, like, I mean, it's only an hour and some change flight, but like, it was freaking bull crap because of the fact that there was no screen. I'm like, bro, like, I could have flown on, I was going to say Spirit, the hell with that. I could have flown on Southwest. If I was to know that y'all didn't have any flights, no actual plane that actually had this, like, come on, it's Delta, man. Don't want to serve, filet mignon, okay? You guys don't know how to pronounce this mignon. Don't want to serve. Is it pronounced Channel or Chanel?
Who the fuck knows? I don't even know.
So I was gonna say, listen, I ain't wearing they name brand, but anyway, back to the story. Back to the story. So I remember watching, but no, Coach Carter is my number one favorite basketball film of all time. But I remember watching He Got Game, and I watched it so much, and I kept thinking like, bro, this is kind of like a bad movie, but I like it, whatever. I was like, the reason I really liked it was because I thought it was cute how in the beginning of the movie where it showed Jesus and Lala, how he was painting her toes and he won her a stuffed animal. I'm like, bro, I want a man to win me a stuffed animal and paint my toes. The ones who actually speak real English, not the ones in the nail salon, okay? And I'm not paying them to do it. They're actually doing it because they want to. Back to the story. So I remember hearing in the movie when Denzel said, my all-time favorite basketball player is Earl the Pearl Monroe, and showed highlights. And you do your research, like he was the first one to invent the spin move. Like you got, stuff like that. But like I said, Hakeem, Earl, Steve Nash, KG, and Ray Allen, right? But let me go back with AI. I would like to meet AI, but I've heard too many bad reviews about him. Like, I'll give you a prime example. I had this person who was like 12 years old. You could call him little AI. He had the jersey, he had the braids and everything else like that. And this was like, he was 12 years old. He saw him at this somewhere in Tennessee. He's like, hi, Mr. AI, can I get your autograph? He's like, no, kid, beat it. I'm like, bro, it's a freaking kid, man. If you don't sign that freaking autograph. But here's the thing though, like I said, for me personally, it's three people I would like to meet, right? It's T.I., and I've heard bad reviews about T.I., AI, and The Game. But again, these people are not God. I just would like to meet up and like how we're having a conversation like we're doing. I want to do the same thing. I want it to be randomly. But again, I don't want to sit here and get disappointed. Like I'll tell you, I remember have you ever had a bad experience with a celebrity before?
I have never met a celebrity. I met maybe one, DJ Premier. I met DJ Premier.
How'd you end up meeting him?
I was working at the airport, and he's from Houston, so he was down here like visiting his parents. So I just like walked up to him like, DJ Premier, and we just started talking. So yeah, I think he was like going to New York. So yeah, and that was
he was nice. Yeah. He was cool cat.
Yeah, it was cool. He was cool. He gave me a conversation. I was like, oh shit.
And that's how it was supposed to be, right? But you know what? I remember there's this woman, and then Cat Williams kind of ended her career, radio station lady, Wanda Smith. Remember a couple of years. So I remember seeing her at Atlantic Station one day, right? And I wasn't sure if that was her. And I was with a few other people, and I was like 16 at the time. And I said, excuse me, hi, are you Wanda? She's like, and then she just like shook her head, like she didn't want to like actually answer the question. I'm like, yeah. I'm a freak. I mean, when I was 16, I looked like an adult, but now that I'm an adult, I look like a child again. So it's like the Benjamin Button effect. I think I look like a child. People think I'm 30. I'm like, bro, you know I ain't no freaking 30. And stop that. But anyway, so, but it's like, I mean, I was like asking her a few questions, and you know, she just didn't seem like she was interested in answering. I'm like, but you know, I'm sure if I would have brought that up to her now, you know, many years later, she ain't gonna remember that, you know. But that's why I say you treat everybody the same, because for me, there have been times like I was in the bank the other day doing a comedy show, and it was like a random comedy show. It wasn't like, hey, welcome. It wasn't like I literally walked in, my presence, I started talking, everybody starts ear hustling, they started laughing, and then one of the he's like, hey, I remember you. You said you're like the comedian. I'm like, I don't really remember you, but hello. I said, I see so many people dancing. Well, I'm glad. Like I said, I still treat people the same. How's it going? You good? How's your mom? How's your cat? How's your illegitimate child? You know, but anyway, so with that being said, like no matter where I go, like I try to keep the same like presence. Like even when I'm at my job, you know, they're like, "Why? Like every time I come here, you're so nice." I'm like, "Oh well, I don't remember." You know, even if a person comes to my kiosk and it's 15 minutes later, they come back, I still be like, "Hey, how you doing? Where you coming from or going to?" And stuff like that. They're like, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No, I was just here 15 minutes ago." "Oh shoot!" I treat everybody the same. Unless you look, you know, cockeyed or something, I'm not gonna remember you. Back to the story. Brandon, let me ask you something. Are you mature enough to date somebody who's cross-eyed at this point in your life?
I would like to say I am, but I know I'm not.
What about somebody who's missing a front tooth?
Oh hell no, we're not doing that. No. We can't do that.
Good answer. But no, so with that, like I said, with all that being said, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you are, like I said, you treat people the best way that you can. Like you are, and you never know what people are going through. But my thing is just like, if you don't want to come out the house, if you know for a fact you're gonna act like a jerk or whatever, don't come out. Like you gotta. You know, presentation is everything. You know, it's honestly everything. Like Cam Newton, when I used to work at La Fitness, and for all the slow ones in the back, that's LA Fitness. When I used to work there, like he came in one day, his camp, his gym the location was, they were renovating it. So he came in one day, he tried to come in for free. I thought celebrities got in for free, but it really just depends on who the manager is at, you know, if they want to let him in, but he had to pay. But he was upset that he was complaining about that for like, it took him 20 minutes to pull out $100 bill. And to me, I just really lost respect for him after that. Now he probably has changed since then, but I just have a problem with people who just feel like they entitled, because you like as quickly as God had given you that platform, he can just tear it all down.
Take it away.
You know, but then sometimes I think about like, bro, like what about the people who haven't been torn down? And I try not to be that person. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. I try not to think about, well, what about that person? Nothing bad happened to them. Like I'll give you a prime example. Chris Brown, he's a phenomenal entertainer, but the man is a colorist. Him and Wayne. I like Wayne. Wayne is in my top 10 favorite rappers, but they're both colorists. But they still have dark skin men and women supporting them when they have both said they don't like dark skinned women. But that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why are they still being supported? These are, I don't know. These are things that, like, for me, I'll say ignorant things, but you're never gonna catch me saying stuff, you know, like me as a comedian, you know, people are gonna like cancel you anyway, but you will never ever catch me trying to say something that is just off the wall, like, wow, like you really said that? Like you don't do that. I don't think you should do that.
I don't either. I think consequences are fleeting nowadays.
I think that's exactly. You know, like for example, it's anytime T.I.'s in the news every other month, he always has people in his hate comments saying something horrible about him, right? But he still has the 12, 13, 14 million followers. Like why you haven't lost any followers, bro? Like I'm like, if y'all hate T.I. that much, why y'all still supporting the man? You know, and stuff like that.
I feel like, you hate what you can't achieve.
Okay.
I think that people sometimes get to the point where I'm not gonna be T.I., I'm not gonna be Chris Brown, I'm not gonna be Lil Wayne. So I'm gonna follow them, and when they do something fucked up, I'm gonna talk about how much I don't like you. I'm gonna put all X's in you and cancel. And it's just like you're not really canceling them because you still follow them, still putting money in their pockets, you're still streaming their albums, still listening to that music, still going to YouTube. They get paid for the videos, how many videos they watch. Like, you're not really doing anything. So when you say it's cancel, that's why I think, like, I don't really listen to that cancel shit too much, because it's just like, you can cancel. It's a very simple thing. If you really want to cancel somebody, just ignore the shit out of them. Just stop fucking with them completely. Like, I don't understand, like everybody now, like, and that's why I feel like in this era, that cancel shit kicked off in this era, but so many people are gonna still survive in this era because of there's a fan base for everything. Everybody's got their own taste. If it's music, culture, movies, whatever, people are going to always go to what they like. So if they listening to Chris Brown, some of us grew up on Chris Brown. That was like our first like R&B artist that we could physically remember. I grew up listening to Usher. So Chris Brown kind of was like the back half of what Usher was trying to accomplish. Chris Brown kind of got a chance to do it all. But then when he fucked up, it was kind of like, okay, that's kind of fucked up. Why would you do that? But I didn't think I thought he was done. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was done. Because I'm like, oh, he ain't never gonna come back. That's some unforgivable shit. But again, you got a taste for everything. Somebody out there is gonna always support him, no matter what. Because it's childhood, it's your memories. Whatever he provided for you, you're gonna always hold near and dear. It's like Kanye to a lot of people. Kanye should be canceled 20 times over. But this motherfucker's still kicking. I don't know how, but he's still kicking.
Do you believe, what are your thoughts about the Illuminati? Do you believe that it's real, or do you feel like that's just something that people just overhyped, in your honest opinion? Because I'm a very woke person. I don't want the government coming after you by me saying the wrong thing, because you put me on your platform. So what are your honest thoughts on the Illuminati?
My honest thoughts is the Illuminati is the industry. The industry is the Illuminati. I think that they get you young. They tell you all these things. They make you believe all these things. And then when you stop realizing, when you start to say, this isn't for me, or I don't abide by that, or I don't want to go with that no more, I don't do that shit no more, that's when they start to look at you and say, oh, you don't want to do that no more for us? Okay. Cut your ass off. Now you cancel. Now
you're really canceled.
You're really, because you can't come back. Now radio not playing your shit. Why radio not playing my shit? I thought y'all loved me 5 months ago. Why the fuck y'all not playing my shit no more? The music videos ain't the same. Why the music videos ain't the same? Why the directors don't want to direct with me no more? What's going on? Venues don't want to put you on the marquee no more. Why you don't want to put me on the marquee? I thought we was cool 3 months ago. We sold out last week. Like last time I checked. Now I'm not on the marquee. What the fuck? It's that. Illuminati is real, but it's like for like somebody pulling the strings and shit. The strings are being pulled. You sing it, and the crazy thing is, we still don't believe it.
You made a very valid. You said a lot without saying a lot, and I think this part is going to go over a lot of people's head. Let me say this really, something that came across my mind. Let's talk quickly about the baby. With him being quote unquote canceled, right? Because he's not really canceled, but he did get canceled for a lot of stuff where he was losing money, where literally every day you woke up, you found something new about him. With your point, what you just said, why was the baby canceled? Was it because of the fact that the LGBTQ plus community is like, that's something you don't play with? Like if you mention something about them, it's like going against the beehive, you're pretty much dead. Is that what it comes down to? Or because he was doing everything that they've been telling him to do, and he's still here. So what do you think was the reason why they went so hard on him? Because I noticed that they, the community will get, they can have a Pride month. They get a whole month. They get a lot of different type of stuff, So that's my question. Why do you think that he got canceled the way he did versus anyone else if they say something that's crazy?
I think he got canceled. One, I think it was publicity driven. I think when you do something like that Sunday night and then Tuesday night, you got a video and all that shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you planned it. That's just me personally. But also the way he was getting destroyed, again, it's hypocritical because all you motherfuckers run with all this that have said something about the gay community, and you fuck with them heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, when he said it, what was the real reason for him getting canceled? Because it is a conversation that is interesting because it did he do everything right, but he just broke that one simple rule in doing everything right?
You know what I think? I think it's just more so the choice of words that he could have used differently. As far as I think it was one, I'm not sure who it was. One of them had said, you talking about women, if your vagina, banana those words, if your vagina smells like water, put your phones in the air. You're over here, like now you making women, if they don't have vaginas that smell like water, you're making an issue for them. Honey, no, that is an issue because nobody wants to have smelly vaginas next to them. I worked in a doctor's office and this woman's vagina, I didn't know what it was, right? The doctor, she had her jeans on and I was 8 feet away from her and I still smelled it.
Oh, wow.
And the woman has 6 kids. Who is hitting that? That's what I have a problem with. And her kids looked as bad as she smelled. I'm not even lying. The few kids she pulled up with, the 3 kids she pulled up with. Yeah. I just kind of wondered that. I'm like, bro, ignorant things get said all the time. What?
I don't know. I think cancel culture is a bunch of bullshit. And I think that it started off with good intentions. I do think that. I think cancel culture really started off with 20 years. It started off with people that we did hold to a high regard. And you starting to realize, oh, these motherfuckers are fucked up. All the stories you would hear about Hollywood came to life. How they the only way you get on a movie was to have sex with the director or producer or some shit. And then when even shit started to come to life, it was like, oh, wow. 20 years of shit that we've always knew is real. Oh, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it started out with good intentions. The problem is now it's got to the point where every 2 months a motherfucker get canceled for some shit that they grew up around.
Exactly.
They grew up around that shit. They're used to the situations that they are in. So when you tell them now, that's wrong on this platform, you can't say that anymore. It's like, I grew up around that shit. Instead of y'all teaching these people, they just revolt and they rebel and they get like the baby where it's just like, well, fuck y'all. I'm not going to do that shit no more. I'm not going to allow y'all to keep trying to bully me into apologizing. And
it should not be like that. You should not apologize. You should. First time I got real deal severe canceled on Facebook, they wanted me to take my joke down, and I had said transgender women aren't women. Let's call them X-Men.
That's a good joke.
I said that joke, and it was like
that was a good joke.
It was like, now I woke up with hate messages. I'm like, what bathroom you guys want me to meet you at? To me, it's not that serious, right? People like, and I almost took it down, but I'm like, no.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like,
you're gonna basically allow these people to win. Don't
win.
And here's my thing, right? Imagine what what these entertainers have to go through. Like me trying to make into the media field. I don't have time for that. I want to say what I want to say. Like I was watching one of my favorite female comedians. I don't know if you heard of her, Miss Pat, comedian Miss Pat.
Yeah. I gotta watch that show. That shit look funny.
I binge watched it today. Yesterday going into today. Good stuff. Really good stuff. And so it was an episode, I don't know which episode it was, where her daughter Ashley, and in real life her daughter Ashley's gay. And she, they were talking about, with her sister saying something, I'm about to go dip my toe into a lady pond. Miss Pat's like, well, you better not bring no, bull dagger up in this house. Now, I've said the word bull dagger so many times, right? Of course, Ashley was offended by that. But when I said the word bull dagger, one person said, don't say that. That's offensive. That's a racial slur to gay women. How is that a racial slur but not dyke? Sorry. Dyke sound not racial. Well, homophobic, sorry.
Oh, I'm about to say racial.
Sorry, homophobic slur. That's listen, y'all know what I meant, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, but they say it's a homophobic slur, and I'm like, bro, I thought dyke, it sounds worse than bulldagger. How? Like what? Like, don't say that word. I'm like, oh my gosh. I can't say the word bulldagger. I can't. Like I didn't realize. I thought the only homophobic slur was the F word towards gay men. I thought that was the only and again, I thought it was dyke, but apparently they don't mind being called that. You can listen. You go on www.xxx. You can type in dyke, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of. Oh my gosh. But again, like I said, to me, I made other transgender jokes, and I basically had said, like, the next one I said is that wait. Oh no, this is what I said. No, that's my last one, but it wasn't a joke, it was realism. The next transgender joke that I said was, ain't no point in y'all having a gender reveal if you're gonna allow them to choose what they want to be anyway. That's what I had said, right?
That's true.
And then my last one I said was children can't drink or drive, but they can choose what their sex they want to be, which sex they want to be. This isn't going to end well, and you all know it. Here comes one heterosexual male he's like an atheist. So, he has said, what is your issue with transgenders? Like every few months you make a post about them. Like, what is your problem? I'm like, there is no problem. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? Like I literally have, if I wanted to be a boy when I was in elementary school, right? To the point I would walk around with my towel wrapped around my waist and no shirt on. Okay. And that wasn't good because my boobies were starting to form. And I remember my mother, probably before, I was probably like 7 years old. And I just remember because I thought it was cool. Y'all can just walk around with a towel on. Then I got older. I'm like, man, I really want to be a boy because like y'all can like whip your peen out and just pee right there. You know how many times I try to stand up to pee? Can't do it. Then, you don't have to deal with periods. You don't have to go give birth. But then I think about if I'm a man, like, bro, you're going to have to make sure your stroke game is right. Okay? Because I'm telling you, you might think you did a good job, but the group message is going to really let you know if you did a good job or not the next day.
She called my homegirl. Dude called up. Hey, bro, what you do last night, bro? Nah, she called my girl like at 1 o'clock in the morning, bro. This shit is getting out of hand, bro. You need to fix this shit immediately, bro. You need to fix that shit immediately.
It's like no matter what your gender is, but I'm glad I never got transgender. I'm telling you what I say, like when you're a child, like I want to be so many different things. Like if I'm out there eating crayons, eating glue and chewing on some dirt and whatnot like that, like why I'm not mentally there to want to say, hey, I said, man, I what's so crazy? I was looking at, I was reading, I remember before I realized that your brain your brain actually holds everything that you see in a day. For the ones that don't know, everything that you see in a day, your brain captures all of that, but they place it in a file to remember and to delete. Okay, because it's not really important. Because if they place it all in the same file, your head will be overloaded. Okay, it'll look like Jimmy Neutron. Back to the story. So,
man, I miss Jimmy Neutron. That was my shit.
So with that being said, do you remember that episode? I think it was Carl. He blew that snot bubble that literally. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Why do I remember that? My brain should
I have
that.
no clue.
So why do we both remember that? Anyway, back to
they showed just childhood. That was, I guess, is a memory.
Gosh, that should have been deleted from our. That they should have. Whoever created that episode, they need to be fired. Okay, back to the story. So I remember I had this issue where I did not want to, like, this is so crazy. Like things that we do as children. I had this thing where anytime my father, when they had, when we were listening to the radio back then, anytime they would have a number on the radio station or a number on the television show that they were repeating, I would either turn it all the way down, or I would be like, la, 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 because I thought that if I was to remember their number, I would not remember my father's number. I would get it confused and I would be calling the 800 number until somebody had told me, like, Kendra, that's not how it works. Okay. You're going to still remember that type of stuff. You're going to remember your father's number. And I remember my father's number. I remember my very first cell phone number. I remember a lot of people. I'm really good with it. Like, I have memory like an elephant and stuff like that. Right. But that goes to show my brain was not mentally stable. Had I said, I want to be a boy at like 8 years old, like when I'm still trying to get this boy in school to like me, and I'm over here. Do you remember when Burger King used to have, I think they still have it, like the toys, if you get you do like a little Happy Meal or whatever else it may be. And there was this one toy where it was able to make your crush like you, something in that realm. And I had liked this boy for 2 years straight, and I wanted him to like me. I'm like, my hair looked like a Just For Me kids, okay, without the perm and everything else like that. I got some barrettes, okay. Look, I be looking fly. My colors actually match, okay. Come on now. I got braces on my teeth. All right. My glasses, they fly. But he didn't want me. Okay. He wanted the girls who looked like who shot John and forgot to kill him. Damn him. Back to the story. That's why as time progressed, he started getting into trouble. He started wearing ankle monitors to school. And I think he dropped out of school. That's what happens when you play with one of God's children. Back to the story. So, but you know what's so sad? Speaking of that really quick, let me pause real quick. It's sad to me when you see people who have so much potential and they throw it away because of street activity. Like literally, he was talented in so many different things, and he decided to chase the streets and women, and that's never good. But he didn't chase me. Damn him still again. Back to the story again. But now going back to it, like I said, it's when you speak the truth on stuff, nobody wants to hear the truth. They literally will sit here and make you feel bad for speaking that truth.
That's so true. The world, this society is not a truth-telling society. It's a I said what I said, you better abide by it society. And I think that more importantly, because it's funny, because we're having this conversation, I was thinking about this shit today, actually. It was like, I was thinking about like how, like, kids nowadays, you just said it perfectly. Kids nowadays, they can't even make a choice. They're making choices at 3. You're telling them they can make a choice at 3. Did you make a choice at 3? Did you know how shit worked at 3? Did you know? You knew one thing. You touch that, I'm gonna whoop your ass. That's all you knew. That's all we do. Don't touch that, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And it was very simple. We needed to know how pain felt when we was young. These new kids don't have that. They don't have that type of, that person that comes in. What the hell are you doing? Put that down. Nope. I said put it down. They don't have that no more.
They want them to be their friends.
It's not just friends. I think they want them to be independent. You're not supposed to be independent at 3 years old. You don't know what the fuck you're doing at 3 years old. And that was another thing I was thinking about, because I was like, these kids nowadays are getting more responsibilities than I was at like 12. Instead of we all go to this world. We go to this class called world, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go to this class called world. There's certain things we should be shielding kids from. I know you don't want to tell your kids you're supposed to be protecting them for this shit, but a kid should not be seeing police sirens and fucking ambulance rushing down their neighborhoods every fucking day. That's just weird to me. I grew up in that shit. I didn't like it when I was a kid.
And you're originally from Houston, right?
No, I'm from New Orleans originally.
Oh, okay. There's how far away was Holly Grove from your neighborhood?
It was a little bit, but New Orleans is so damn small. That's the thing about New Orleans. New Orleans is super small. So like my cousins lived in Holly Grove, so we used to go over there like every weekend or so.
Oh, so did you see Dwayne Carter and pick him up and throw him on your back?
He was
so small.
Nah, he was already rich by the time.
I mean, did he come back and be like, "Hey"? No, he didn't.
Nah. He was in Miami by that time.
Crap.
He was in Miami by that time. But it's that like we all go to this class called World, and a lot of these new parents, man, they get their kids a tablet at 3 years old and tell them to figure it out. You're not supposed to be letting your kid know shit at 3 years old on a tablet. The tablet should not be telling your kid how to maneuver in the world. You should.
Or melatonin. They'll give them melatonin at 4 because they can't get them to go to bed. Like, bro, like, come on now.
Well, I was giving that at 4. I'm not gonna even lie. My mom.
Okay, I got a random age polling question for you. At what age should parents stop breastfeeding and getting their child off the pacifier?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. I would like that. Like I get it, but it's also like I think like that's because that's now like that's a necessity. It becomes a necessity for that kid. Like they can't get out of it. Because that's the thing that keeps them feeling safe. That's one thing that you gotta get out of.
That's like, real.
It becomes like a protective shield at a certain point. So if you like at 3 or 4 years old, you still using a pacifier. And a lot of people don't know that shit mess up your teeth. Pacifiers and binkies and shit, that shit mess up your teeth.
That's why you can end up getting braces.
Yeah,
like that you don't think it was mine. What about my parents? Like their teeth were never straight. You feel like it's not hereditary? There was only one person in my immediate family. One person in my immediate family out of 5 of us who never had to wear braces. One person. Or 2 people. Never. I had to wear braces and glasses.
Well, ask your mom and your dad, how long did you have to be on a pacifier?
And I'm gonna ask them that. So here's what can you do? What can you do properly? Because I feel like you have the parenting guide, like you got the cheat code. What can you actually do to try to not have to deal with that? Like, so you're like pacifiers are what to I guess hush your baby up, right? What are other healthier ways for your child so you will not have to deal with that? Because you're making a great point, but if they don't stop crying,
yeah.
What can you do?
It's like diaper change, but then they're gonna be good with that. Feed them. They might be full already. Oh shit. I don't know. Probably just look at them until they stop crying. I don't know.
You know what? Hey, ladies, do you have any kids?
No.
Okay, ladies, he's not all the way there yet. Wait till
I'm lying. I'm playing.
To shoot your club up.
Just looking at the kid like, are you gonna stop crying now? Are you gonna stop crying now? Just like, nah. I think that shit is hard because I got nieces and nephews, and I just got a new niece, and I haven't had a chance to like really just be around her. But when I had my niece that's 3 now, we would like. I just hold her, like, just make sure she was good. And like, just make sure she was good. She'd be in there crying. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be like, oh shit. And then I'll pick up, and that's all she wanted. She just wanted like a little bit of attention. She just wanted you know.
No, I definitely understand. I definitely
Yeah.
understand. But if you hear something in the background, I live in the hood as well, but that's not gunshots, that's thunder. So I think it's back
Nah,
to us.
I got airplanes flying around and shit. I
I
live
don't
by the
even hear
airport.
nothing. I don't
Yeah,
even
I
hear
live at the
nothing.
airport. I got airplanes flying. Yeah, I got my headphones on. That's why. But I got airplanes flying. I live by the airport, so I'm. Shit, I get it.
Of course, but no, I definitely understand what you're saying. It's just I'm glad I'm speaking to somebody who has that realistic type of mentality, and
I feel like it's a you got to be open minded. I think a lot of people are not. I think that they say they are, but they're not, and that gets them fucked up every time because it's like as soon as something pop up, it's like, well, I thought you was open minded. Why you going so hard now over this one situation? Well, it's kind of no. You said you was open minded. What's going on? I'm willing to open up and listen to anybody's point of view because my point of view is not as set on one thing as everybody thinks, and that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of life. I feel like if you have this open mind, you can see all points of views, no matter who is bringing it to you, because then you can rebut them with a conversation and be like, well, if you feel that way, then why X, Y, and Z is okay, but this is not? Well, nah, you said this, why this is good, but this is not. That don't sound right. Why? I think you need to go talk to somebody about that, because if everything else is good, but that's not, something's off with you. You need to figure that out.
That's real. Very real now.
That's all it is. It's point of views. It's actually opening up. Like I say all the time, like people don't want to talk. You act like people want to talk. People don't want to talk. They want their own point of view. They want their own feelings. They want their own way of thinking. And as long as people are going to always have that mindset,
we ain't going to be
we
prosperous
ain't going nowhere.
It's a lot of boring people on this earth, to be honest with you. A lot of very boring people on this earth. And like I came to ask questions in my DMs. Why? You must be the Fed. Sir, we're on question number 3. I just asked you, give me your top 5 favorite whatever. How does that make me the Feds? Why are you asking these questions? Okay, so you're used to bots in your because you didn't figure out where I was from. Why are you asking me all these questions? I said, hey, where you from? Oh, I'm from Oklahoma. You didn't say, and you. Don't seem like you've been interested in my conversation. So you know how that goes.
It's so true. It's true because people put up these walls that they think they're not putting up, but they're putting up walls to protect themselves. Now, from what? That's up to them. I do not know. But you can't tell me that you're not protecting yourself for something, because the first thing you say is, what you want? Well, nothing now. I'm just trying to have a conversation with your ass, but never mind.
Yeah, like you catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar, but it is what it is. That's why what I do is I do my little podcast here and there. You are more than welcome to jump on my podcast Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called The Kendra Crumb Show, guys. Make sure you all please check me out. Updated episodes every Friday. My own YouTube channel that I'll put my podcast on is Kendra Crump. Put a space in between because a lot of y'all ain't the highest grade of weed in the dispensary. So I want to let y'all know that.
She's just Charlamagne the God the hell out y'all.
You're not. He's right.
He's right though. He's right. It's true. It's just, thank you for coming on. Of course, I know there's a lot of technical. We were supposed to start literally at 7. We started at 7:30. A lot of shit was going on. I learned a lot of lessons today. She stayed with me. She didn't let me fall. So thank you for standing there with me. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. Listen, like that old school song says, that's what friends are for. You gotta help people. Because other people probably would have been like, bro, you don't know what you're doing. I'm out.
Yeah.
Not gonna give up on you. You must, second podcast of the day. There it is.
Hey, that's good. Thank you for even coming on here. Appreciate that. Truly, truly do. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, I think I'm about to
20.
go watch He Got Game again on YouTube. I paid.
I
You know
was
what's
just
so
about